Welcome to another episode of the Bug Bite, hosted by yours truly, Tech Coach Ralph, where we're Engineer Twin. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about this article that I saw, and we're going to ask a question: do Americans, USA, United States of America, do Americans work harder than Europeans? What kind of question is that? Do Americans work harder than Europeans? That is what the article is going to be talking about. And I'm curious to read through this. I saw the title and I said, all right, we've got to figure this out. We've got to talk about this because I don't know. I really don't know if that's the case. Because guess what? Sorry to say, I don't know many Europeans. I know a lot of Americans. I don't know many Europeans. So let's find out what's going on. Who said this craziness? Why did they say it? Let's figure it out, right? But if you haven't done so already, do me a big favor, like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. We're going to be sharing some dope information, or I suspect it's going to be dope. I don't know. I could be wrong because I haven't read this yet, but I'm curious to see the thoughts and the sentiments. And who said this? Was it an American who said this? That Americans work harder than Europeans? Let's find out together. So let's go over to our article. So there we have it. We have our article here. It is from the Yahoo Finance in the Fortune section. And the title is titled, Americans Just Work Harder Than Europeans, says CEO of Norway's $1.6 trillion oil fund because they have higher general level of ambition. Do I agree with that? I don't know, because I know a lot of Americans who choose not to work. Or if they could, they just would, wouldn't do it. So let's find out. Maybe he, as a $1.6 trillion oil fund, the CEO must know a little something what he's talking about. I don't know. Let's find out together. So, and when I think about hard work, I do not associate Sean Fain with it, but could be me who's wrong. I could be wrong. Let's find out. So, Norway's trillion-dollar man believes America's attitude towards failure is helping propel the nation ahead of its European counterparts, where workers may have a better work-life balance but are not as ambitious. But here's the thing. I keep hearing about work-life balance here in the US as well. You got to have balance. You have to have balance, work-life balance. So maybe we're following in the footsteps of our former owners, Nikolai Tangen leads Nordic Behemoth. How do you say Behemoth? Is it Behemoth? Let me know. I might be saying it wrong. Norg's Bank Investment Management, which governs the revenue earned by Norway's oil and gas resources, with the aim of ensuring the benefits are distributed fairly between current and future Norwegian generations. Under Tangen's management since 2020 and over the past decade, the $1.6 trillion fund has invested more and more heavily in the US instead of its closer neighbors in Europe, and it's no coincidence. Well, thank you for your investments in us. I'll tell you that. America's performance, particularly in innovation and performance, is worrisome in contrast to Europe, Tangen told the Financial Times. Part of this comes down to mindset, Tangen added, and how accepting each continent is of mistake and risk. Maybe I'm understanding. Part of this comes down to mindset, Tangen added, and how accepting each continent is of mistakes and risk. You go bust in America, you get another chance. In Europe, you are dead. Done finito, he said. Well, he didn't say the done finito. I said the done finito, but you know what I mean. But it goes deeper than that. There's a difference in the general level of ambition, he added. We are not very ambitious. I should be careful about talking about work-life balance, but Americans just work harder, Tangen continued. Okay, well, I guess if that's a compliment, I guess thank you. Is it true? I don't know. I would venture to say, like I said, I don't know many Europeans, right? But I would venture to say that you're going to find a few ambitious people everywhere, but the majority of people, they might not be that ambitious, Maybe Tangen knows a bigger demographic of Americans and Europeans than I do. I could be wrong, but I don't know. I don't know. All right. So data suggests that tension is right. Oh, well, if there's data, if there's data, that's a different story, but only by a fine margin. Oh, so now we're coming back to my side. We're coming back to my side now. According to the European Union, in 2022, the average work week of people aged between 22 and 65 was 37 and a half. The longest working weeks recorded were in Greece at 41 hours a week and in Poland at 40.4 hours a week. By contract, the Netherlands had the shortest work week of 33.2 hours, followed by Germany at 35.3 hours. Well, okay. What is it like in the US? I'm curious to see. How many hours do we actually work in the US? I mean, I know some people who might be working 70, 80 hours a week, but I also know some people who wish they were working like 10 hours a week, all right? Always looking for like get rich quick schemes. I don't know. Meanwhile, data from the International Labor Organization last updated in January showed the average work hours clocked in the US was 38 hours per week. However, of those employees, 13% worked 49 hours or more per week, which outstripped the majority of European nations. Moreover, countries like the UK had a statutory requirement entitling staff to 28 paid days of leave a year if you're a full-time employee. In the US, it is not a legal requirement for staff to be given any paid time off. However, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, the average employee who is in their first year of service takes 8 PTO days. Yes. I am in agreement with this, right? I don't think, like, I am a capitalist to my core. I think that we must force companies to compete with one another. So what do I mean by force companies to compete, right? We can't be setting these arbitrary limits on this is how much money that these are the type of benefits that should be a requirement. No, let them compete. So what do I mean by compete? So let's say you have company A and you have company B. Let's just throw in who's a good example to use. Let's take Google and Amazon, for instance, right? And they're both, they need software engineers, they need people in IT, right? Let them compete for them. So no government restrictions on you need to have like this much time off, these days off, all that stuff, right? Say, all right, there's the same engineer. Google and Amazon want the same exact engineer. Who's going to make the better offer? So Google is going to say, okay, we'll give you this, right? And Amazon, oh, I see this, and I'm going to raise you that, and you're going to get these benefits, right? And Google's, oh no, we really, really want this person because they're going to be foundational to the work that we're doing. So we're going to give you the same thing that Amazon is going to give you, but more money, and you're going to get like parental leave or whatever the case, like whatever the benefit that sounds enticing. And I say, let the companies duke it out. Like if your skills are to that level, they will, regardless, right? You ever heard someone like they have multiple offers and like they'll say, oh, actually, I got this offer for this, and they're offering that. And then the company comes back and they says, okay, well, we see that, and we'll give you this instead, and we'll give you more money, whatever the case may be. Whatever it is that you want, they'll give it to you if you're worth it, if you are worth it. And I know people are like, oh, you can't put value on people. Yes, trust me. Like I have no problem putting value on people, putting value on myself. Know your worth. And when you are like, you see it in the NBA, they fight for players. Like when it comes to the and NFL, any sports, right? When it's off season, when it comes time for free agency, they will fly to players and say, we'll give you this, that, and the other, this much money, this much benefits, all this stuff, whatever it is that you want. If you come and sign with us, and it's the same thing. Companies are going to do the same thing. It's all business at the end of the day. So like in hospitals, they'll have signing bonuses for when they really need nurses, they'll have signing bonuses. So it's, I say that let them fight for you. Be so valuable that companies are willing to fight over you. Let go of that, oh, we're all valuable type thing. Yeah, sure. Like to somebody, like maybe, to your mom, to your spouse, to your father, maybe your grandparents, your kids. But in the grand scheme of things, they don't know you from Adam. Who's Adam anyways? Who the hell is Adam, right? They don't know you from Adam. Who's Adam? Not, I'm not talking about you, Adam, but you know what I mean. Like, but that the general Adam, who's Adam? They don't know you. They like you got to prove yourself every single day. Every single day that I wake up, I have to prove myself to myself that I'm worthy of what I'm talking about, what I'm doing, the work that I'm doing. How can I add? Like, I wake up in the day. How can I add value into this world, into my company, to the people that I interact with, to my tech barbarians, to the people that I communicate with on Discord or wherever it is that I communicate with them? How can I add value? That's the mindset that we have to wake up with every single day. It's not about me, me, me. It's about what can I put out there? And then once you put it out there, it's going to come back to you. That's what I'm getting from this story right here, right? Do I agree with the whole Europeans and Americans who works hard and stuff? I don't know. Honestly, I don't know if I've seen it for myself. I just know what I do. I know what I do. I know the effort that I put in. All right. Let's see. Do we have access to the rest of the story? Let's see. All right, there we go. So, despite admiring the work ethic of staffers in the U.S., Tangent has made it clear he does not agree with the extreme pay packages handed to the execs. Last year, he told Fortune that CEOs who earn more than, let's say, $20 million a year are enriching themselves on our behalf. It's like daylight robbery, he added. Norges Bank investment strategy has certainly leaned into the U.S. trend. After all, America is home of all of the magnificent seven stocks, which have provided a backbone to the stock market and boom, according to analysts, and will continue to do so. Well, why does it have to be 20 million, Mr. Tangent? Why not 1 million? Why not 5 million? Why are you governing people's pockets? Right? And that's one thing. I hate people governing other people's pockets. Like, being the face of anything is hard work. You can say one thing, you can put one thing on X, and you can see your company valuation drop significantly, go up significantly, having to make the hard decisions. And at the end of the day, this is how I feel. If you don't like the fact that a CEO at a company is making 20 million, 40 million, 1 billion, whatever, then don't work for them. Don't work for them. If it's that big of a deal for you, go create your own stuff. Go create your own company, and then you can pay yourself $500K a year. If you can even make that much, you have absolutely no idea about the responsibilities that go into being a CEO, but yet, well, not Tangent, he knows because he is a CEO, but I'm talking about people in general, right? So many people, like the majority of people have opinions on CEO pay, but as the closer they're going to be a CEO is opening up an LLC and putting CEO on the title of the LLC. That's how I see it. So that me, I don't care what a CEO makes. It's their business. They're running the company. Am I getting paid what I agreed to when I signed up for the company? If the answer is yes, I'll keep it moving. I don't care. Like, it doesn't bother me none. If you're doing your job, and if you mess it up and the company has to go under, then I guess I have to go look for something else. Because the level of risk that I'm taking into the company is not the same level of risk that the upper management, the board holders, the shareholders are taking in. And that's why they get paid the big bucks. I don't have any, like, I have nothing about it, right? Anyways, Norges Bank's investment strategy has, okay, we read that already, right? So, and the backing of an institution like Norges Bank Investment Management will encourage other investors to jump on board. The group is one of the most powerful financial vehicles on the planet. It is the world's largest single owner of global stock market, controlling 1.5% of shares in the world's listed companies. The organization also owns swaths of high-end property, including a 25% stake in London's Regent Street and approximately 50% holding in offices in New York's Times Square and Washington, Pennsylvania Avenue. Investments in the U.S. now represent 46.9% of Norges Bank's investments, where a decade ago represented just under 30% of its portfolio. Going back a further 10 years in 2003, going back further 10 years in 2003, the organization's investment in America just made up 26.3% of all investments. Conversely, in Europe in 2003, Norwegian Bank's portfolio was made up of 59.5% of European countries, which by 2023 has fallen to 28.7%. Right now, the election issue. Okay, well, let's see where this is going. All right. Of course, like many American investors, Tangent is closely watching the 2024 presidential election, which could rock the investing boat. Well, rock it in a good way or rock it in a bad way, because last time I heard that the stock market would completely tank if someone became president, and then it tanked for like a few hours and then it shot up straight up, right? So the CEO who serves as public servant earns less than 1 million a year, said there were people within the organization who were concerned about the upcoming race, but added, I probably shouldn't say too much about that. We just invest in America in great companies for the long term. It won't have any implications for how we allocate our capital. We have nearly half the assets in America. We will stay invested in America. Per the FT, Magnificent Seven holdings make up 12% of Norwegian Bank's equity holdings, with Tangent adding there's an argument for the big getting bigger and the winner taking it all. There is, of course, a common thread between all Magnificent Seven businesses, and it's the current favorite phrase of Wall Street: artificial intelligence. Again, this is an area Tangent and Europe was making life difficult for itself. Tech CEOs are frustrated, he said, by the amount of red tape in Europe compared to the United States. Now that I totally agree with. There is so much red tape around tech and innovation and data and AI in Europe that it's very like hamstrung, and that's one of the reasons that we are able to innovate at a lot faster rate. Like, we're kind of like, honestly, in the US, we're kind of wild and loose with it, and then because we're in a way we're very agile minded here, because like we'll get stuff done, and then we'll fix it later or make accommodations to get it to work. Some people don't like that, but hey, those are the risks of innovation. We could not, but that's also why the prices can be higher on like pharmaceutical drugs, because we'll do all the work, all the expenses of how to get them, and then like the other countries subsidize it and benefit from our hard work. Just throwing that in there, right? Admittedly, even those who are leading the way with AI in the US are asking for guardrails. Just ask OpenAI's Sam Altman and Tesla CEO Elon Musk. I'm not saying it's good, but in America, you have a lot of AI and no regulations. In Europe, you have no AI and a lot of regulations. It's interesting. Might be a balancing act. Who knows? Tangent added. And this story was originally featured on Fortune.com. All right. So that is that article. Let's get back to full screen. And there you have it. What are your thoughts? I am so curious to know what your thoughts about this. Do you think that Americans work harder than Europeans, or is that just a false perception? Do we equally lack ambition? Or are we just a little bit more ambitious, but not so much? Or do we do it because we have to, not because we want to? Let me know your thoughts. Let me know what you think. I am very, very interested. Drop me a comment. I promise I'll respond to it, and we'll go from there. And with that being said, we're going to wrap it up. We're going to wrap it up. First, if you haven't done so, do me a big, big favor. Like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you can know every single time that we go live and drop new content. And if you're in need of additional exclusive content, go over to www.techcoachrob.dev, where you can get access to information like how do I manage my calendar. You can get access to my resume to see how I put it, how I build it, and get some pointers on how to help you revolutionize your resume as well as different mindset things, strategies, how I continue, learn, and figure things out, all that good stuff. And as well, if you need coaching, one-on-one coaching with me, put you to work. I'll put you on a PIP. If you need to be on a PIP, I will put you on a PIP, a performance improvement plan, so you can level up your skills and we can figure it out. All right. Go over to www.techcoachrob.dev, sign up, and let's get to work. All right. But on that note, I'm going to get out of here. Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of The Bug Bite, where, above all else, we're engineered to win. This is Tech Coach Ralph. And we're out. We are out. We are out.
If you enjoyed the fascinating information shared in this video and you want more, be sure to hit the subscribe button to Tech Coach Ralph to be notified for new videos.